Hello world and welcome to Tech Talk Talk. Yes, I'm super excited about episode 2 because episode 1 went live and we have gotten quite a bit of good feedback from everyone. We are really, really excited to bring this podcast to you. And if this is your first time stopping by, hi, this is Tech Talk Talk, the tech podcast for everyday people. My name is Dami.
And I'm Ianu. And I feel it's really cool the way you just added that tune at the beginning. Tech-tac-toe. Yeah, that's a nice spin on things.
No, you're not going to be guessing that every time.
Did you plan that ahead, or that just something happened impromptu?
This is part of the intro.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay. No, I didn't plan it. I'm just like really happy.
Fair.
Like for episode 2.
Fair enough. I'm excited as well.
Well, we're going to have to like have a jingle at some point.
You know what? I think that's a good idea.
There's something
If
that
you guys have any ideas of good jingles or good concepts you can use, let me know.
maybe like
Like a beatbox kind of. Yeah, I think that might work. Yeah.
oh my goodness.
All right.
Oh, the tech world has been fascinating like over the last couple of days, and it is non-stop, literally. In the last episode, we spoke about the app browser from the browser company, the fact that they released a second browser, which I am still very surprised about. And OpenAI must have heard us because they were like, hold my hope. Like, wait, just wait. Because what happened the last couple of days, I was not prepared for it at all.
Yeah.
AI has taken like a completely different direction with browser technology. So what exactly is this that we need to be aware of?
So pretty much a few days ago, OpenAI released ChatGPT Atlas, which is pretty much an AI browser of their own, right? There were rumblings that they had been working on it. I feel like just thinking about the direction that AI has been heading recently, right? And just how people use AI in their day-to-day, right? A lot of people use it as a search, sort of like a search engine, right? You ask ChatGPT questions, ChatGPT gives you answers. You really use it for like insights and stuff about your like day-to-day. So I feel like it was just a no-brainer for OpenAI to work on their own AI browser and to just embed ChatGPT directly into like the browsing experience of customers. Yeah.
Like I want to say who was prepared for this, but sort of like what you said, it was inevitable. I think that the direction OpenAI is going as a company is probably wanting to like keep things within the product in a way that they don't actually want the users to leave ChatGPT like ever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the shopping experience, there's the Uber one. You were saying they're probably going to like embed at some point. There's going to be like a Shopify integration as well. But this browser one, that's a lot. That's a whole lot.
I'm very impressed by the continuous rate of innovation of OpenAI.
Nah, the team is not sleeping.
It's clear that the team is not sleeping. It's clear that leadership as well is doing a great job. Sam Altman is really moving the company in the right direction.
Yeah.
And they're really coming after Google's launch, to be honest. I feel like, to an extent, what OpenAI is trying to do at the moment is OpenAI is trying to become the next Google faster than Google.
Google is becoming Google.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much what Sam Altman's main job now is, right? Focusing on improving OpenAI and getting it to the point of becoming like a search behemoth. Not just AI search, but like search in.
For the whole internet.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because you know how long it took Google to become what they are right now, and the number of products they've had to like shut down. Like the ad was working. There was one that was like Google Hangouts or something like that. They shut that down because it just like wasn't working. Yeah,
there's literally a whole graveyard of dead Google products, right? There is a website. I don't know that you've seen it, but there's a website that pretty much showcases like a bunch of old Google products that have been axed over the years.
There is this.
Yeah.
Is it designed like a cemetery? Does it look like a yeah?
I think in a way, right?
That would be a good trolling.
In a way. Well, it doesn't really look like dark or whatever, but yeah, it does look like it's just a huge, long laundry list of dead Google.
R.I.P. Google product.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really, it's to be expected in a way, right? When you're innovating rapidly, particularly like Google in the early days, like a lot of their products came from just like experimentation, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, Google Maps, right? It started as a small product inside the Google team, and today it's like a huge, massive product as well.
That is my favorite Google products, by the way.
Yeah.
Google Map, then Google Translate.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing like what other companies in the AI space do to upseat, can I say, the massive big tech companies and like the products that they have really embedded into our everyday lives, right? Obviously, search has been in a way primed for disruption for many years, right? I feel like I'd also be interested in seeing a challenger come in for Google Maps as well. Do you think that it would be possible for a company to uptrench Google in the map space?
Probably, but it might have to be like an AI experience as well, one that is conversational. Because right now, if you are using Google Map, you still have to like manually type in the input. So this is where I'm going. And then it starts to like show you the distance and all of that. I wonder, but that is an interesting idea, really. If you're looking for a product idea, you're welcome. Create an AI tool that allows users to maybe just say things like, oh, I'm going to this place, and then it just shows you, okay, take a bus from here, then drop off at this point. Google Maps doesn't do that, like right now, not at least in a very simple interface type of way. You still have to look at the buses, look at the train, filter through. If there is like a conversational mode, OpenAI, I hope you're listening. If there's a conversational mode that makes that experience like easier, I think that would be really cool. Yeah, that could be something that is like a strong contender, because Google Map is very comprehensive. Like right now, there's just a way to make it like conversational. I think that would be like a good way to get people to shift a little from Google Map and try out something new.
Yeah, I also feel like since now we are seeing more form factors of computer kind of like propping up, like for example, smart glasses are becoming like a thing. They've been like pretty much picking up, proliferating over like the past year or two, right? I feel like these new form factors would also open up possibilities for startups to kind of like innovate in that direction. For example, obviously, like just in terms of like the number of consumers that use smart glasses at the moment, still in the very early phases, right? Meta has been selling a few millions of their smart glasses, but they just recently launched the Ray-Ban display, which actually has like actual visual elements in their smart glasses, right? I feel like form factors like that and consumer products like those would actually open up opportunities for other smaller companies to innovate and, e.g., let's say, create an AR-powered mapping solution. I mean, it's still up for grabs at the moment.
There's so much that can be done, honestly. It could be a compass of some sort, because that's like a physical product that people actually see as directional. So if AI is helping with that, I think I still have the grouch with the friend necklace thing, because I cannot wrap my head around the fact that people are creating AI to replace friends when there are actual problems, like the one that you just mentioned, that is there. Like there's a whole lot of problem that cannot be solved like with AI, and it's not just replacing friends. Go outside and make friends.
A lot of problems to solve.
And talking about the Ray-Bans, I think one of the really good things that Meta did with that collaboration is the fact that they identify something people actually like. Because, I mean, Ray-Ban glasses are like super stylish on a normal day. Then bringing in the smart element factor into it, it just feels like a no-brainer. Really good collab. Like, I love it, because it's like you're wearing the glasses, it looks normal, it looks stylish, but you know that it has like either the camera thing in there and you can use it to record. And it just like saves the extra cost of maybe buying a camera or having like a camcorder on you. You can just record with your glasses. So that one I like. More products like that would definitely be good.
So there are a lot of rumors at the moment that Apple are also working on smart glasses.
Of course they are.
Although that's still a few years away. But number one, I love news like that because competition is a great thing.
I love it. Yeah, really.
Right. And can't wait to see what Apple actually has
obviously
for us.
Again, one of the things that Apple also really excel at doing is stealing other people's ideas and rebranding it. One of the comments we got from one of the followers on Instagram, big shout out to you. I think someone said, like, is Apple going to make the next fold phone? Now that we have like the slimmest iPhone, maybe the next set of iPhone, or like maybe a different category will be something that is like phones that can fold. And I was like, Samsung already like excel in this case because
Yep.
there's a Samsung phone. But you know the thing with Apple, 2 years from now or 3 years, they'll release something like, oh, the iPhone reconstructible, the iPhone bendable. And then they call it like some flamboyant thing, but it's still the same tech that other brands have used, they've put in place. I mean, how do you take AI and turn it into Apple intelligence? Come on.
Masterclass in brand.
No, it's a masterclass in branding. Literally, still like a thief, still like an artist. Rebrand it.
Speaking of the foldable iPhone, there are actually rumors that Apple will release a foldable phone next year.
I'm not surprised.
Let's see how that pans out.
Because Samsung's device, the phone, is so good from what I have heard. I mean, I don't have one. I'm still loyal to the Apple brand. But from the Samsung reviews that I have seen, those that are using the Fold, they thoroughly enjoy it. And it's quite surprising because one of the sort of like thoughts I had about the Fold in the first place was, would it be breakable? Would it be something that is like durable? And so far, it seems like the feedback is just generally like, yeah, it's solid.
Yeah. So early versions of the Fold and Flip actually had their durability issues. Like, for example, there were problems with sand and little small particles sitting in between like the components of the phone, right? But over the years, they've pretty much worked out a bunch of those kinks, right? So, yeah, I feel like now that technology is mature, this is perfect timing for Apple to slide in and actually build something, right? Apple isn't always the first mover in a particular domain, right? But they usually are the ones that do it extremely well. Like execution is usually solid.
Do they though, or do they just market it that way?
Fair enough.
Because you know, like WWDC, it's such like it's an event that a lot of people look forward to every year.
Dub.
Yeah, dub. Yes, that in my head. Every time I say WWDC now, I don't call it dub anyway. People look forward to it because now it's just like, what is the next thing that Apple is going to like come and announce? So yeah, masterclass in branding. You have to give it to them. But next year, fingers crossed, let's see if they're going to drop the iPhone Fold or iPhone Flip, iPhone Flex, iPhone Unbreakable. These are ideas. If you ever take any of them, please give me my credit. Thanks. But moving on to the next piece of news, which is like quite fascinating. You know, OpenAI is like, oh, we're dropping our own browser. What was going on in Microsoft company, like their headquarters? I need to know.
Yeah, they relaunched their own AI browser product, right? Basically Copilot Mode in.
And it's nearly identical.
Yeah, it's very similar. I mean, just when you think about like the whole concept like AI browsers, right? I mean, a lot of the companies that are innovating in this space right now are kind of like taking inspiration from themselves at this point, right? I think that's kind of like the stage we're at right now, where everybody's still trying to get inspired by themselves and then figure out what kind of like works for the consumer.
Yeah, and what they can make stand out. Because I look at Gemini AI. I've used to use Gemini AI in dark mode before.
No.
It looks really similar to ChatGPT in dark mode. So yeah, the point about them sort of like taking learnings from each other, that's something that I have noticed as well.
Yeah. So specifically with this new Copilot mode for Microsoft Edge, Microsoft announced a few new features, like for example, Actions, which pretty much enables Copilot to actually fill out forms, like on the behalf of the user, basically like acting like an agent, right? So for example, Copilots can now make bookings.
Oh,
bookings and stuff.
I mean, that makes me happy. You know why?
Yeah, because I mean,
it's traveling.
Trots, all right.
Oh my!
Everywhere, Jala the Traveler, literally. All right, and then besides that, there's also a feature called Journeys that enables Copilot to pretty much trace connections between open tabs that you have, right? So that's also something that's kind of like interesting as well.
Yeah, and the fact that it's more than a simple extension, I think that's what I quite like. It's pretty much like an assistant that follows you around all your tabs. So yeah, if you have like 10, 20, 30 tabs, it's still on top of it. And that's like really good work. So shout out to Microsoft for that. But on the same topic, I mean, they're diving into AI right now and Microsoft stock has been going up. So money everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the Microsoft stock has its fresh eyes, and this is mostly driven by the new AI and cloud craze. As at a couple of days ago, Microsoft stock was trading between $521 to $523. And it's still going up like 0.5% day on day. So over the year, really, Microsoft's like up to 25%, and the market cap right now is actually about $3.8 trillion.
Yeah.
That makes this the second largest US company. Thoughts on that?
I mean, right now, just in terms of when you look at market valuation, right, and the way the companies that are performing the best right now, right, over the past few years, have been companies that invest heavily in AI, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say this news isn't really unexpected, right? Again, looking at companies that have been similarly innovating like in the AI space, both software and hardware. Think about companies like NVIDIA, right? The rise of NVIDIA.
Yeah, and that keeps going on.
Years. Right, you think about companies like ARM as well, AMD. Like you also think about companies like you've mentioned Microsoft already, right? There are also companies like Google as well that have been innovating in the AI space. So it's pretty expected, right? And again, when you think about just what shareholders these days are looking
for,
shareholders specifically are looking for innovation in the AI space, right? Because it's kind of like a whole new industry.
Yes.
And at the moment, whoever sort of like wins in AI, there's a good chance that that company would dominate in terms of there's a good chance that company would actually set the direction and the pace for the broader tech industry, right? Because there are no two ways about AI is the future, right? And so just shareholders really love seeing companies innovate in this space, right? But yeah, I'd say it's pretty expected.
Would you say like it's sustainable over time? Because, for example, now with Microsoft, they literally announced when the stock started to go up. That was following the new series of AI PC, which they just unveiled at the Dubai GTEx 2025. And I found that quite interesting because it's like they are sort of like changing actual physical products to align with the AI craze. And I'm like, if it's the digital experience, companies can always pivot. There was a time crypto was everywhere. Everyone wanted to like do something crypto or do something around like the Web3 experience. And it's not so much there right now. People are pivoting into AI, but that's just like digital experience. Do you feel like when it gets to the point that actual physical products are being like put into that structure, it's not doing too much? Because I'm just thinking, yeah, the new laptops are cool. They're still like Surface laptop, which everybody's used to, like Microsoft's laptop. Fine, that's cool. They're solid laptops, no doubt about that. But when you say like they're meant to deliver on-device AI experience through Copilot, is that not like extra?
So do you mean that right now you're a bit underwhelmed by the...
I am. I'm just like, it's not even underwhelmed. I'm just like, it feels like too much.
Okay.
Which goes back to what we talked about in the last episode of making AI optional. When it gets to the part where you're putting it in actual physical products, it just comes off to me like that's doing too much.
I guess it really comes down to like personal preferences.
Yeah.
I, for one, I really love I love seeing like these different products.
I know. So yeah, product junkie. This is not new. Yano is a product junkie.
So yeah, I am really excited about the different applications that we've been seeing like AI prop into, right, on different products that same prop up. So yeah, I'd say more of this, more of that, right? I still feel like we're at the point though where companies are still trying to figure out how best to integrate AI into our lives though, right? And yeah, I feel like potentially the best form factor for that would be smart glasses. And that's why I am quite excited
about smart glasses. Yeah, I get that. I really do get that. But I think for some companies, it might just be a case of FOMO at this point. Like you're just missing out of the AI thing. And you have to like go back to your drawing board and just think, what is the best way we can put in AI in our products? I promise you, you don't need to put in AI. If it's not necessary, You don't need to. Trust me, if your product works fine, keep it that way. You don't need to put AI in everything. I mean, it's great to have, or like my PM will say, it's nice to have, but not the main feature that you want to push out. Looking forward to seeing like Microsoft's go up and up. The analysts are saying like the stock price is still going to triple, go all the way up. I'm guessing to maybe like double digits. That's gonna be like a growing dividend, but good luck to Microsoft on topping the AI craze as well and increasing their market shares.
All right. What else has happened recently?
There have been a couple more tech layoffs. I thought this was done in 2022. What is going on? So the funny thing about tech is how, like I said, things change so fast. Because 2020, there was COVID, lockdown, everyone started to get into tech. And it's like, oh, tech is the new banking, it's the new lawyer career path. And everybody's like trying to get a piece of that tech pie. But now it feels like people don't want to get into tech anymore because jobs are so volatile. And that is like a bit scary because even the big name companies are still laying off employees that are within their team. Considering the fact that these new teams are being formed, maybe a case of them not scaling fast enough or obviously like pivoting in a different direction and just realizing, oh, we don't actually need this team. But then at what cost does that happen to the employees? Because Meta now, they're laying off about 600 employees in their super intelligence lab division. And that is scary. That's like 600 lives, actual people. I mean, layoffs from a company point of view seems like one of those things that, oh, we just have to do it. But the impact is like actually telling on the real people that work like within the company.
Yeah, definitely. Real lives are impacted by layoffs. Definitely, right? And also just thinking about like how a lot of companies that have laid off, right, even approach like the layoffs, right? And how they get to the point where the layoffs like happen, right? A huge contributor typically to like layoffs, right, is overhiring, right? Many times companies can have an exciting new direction they want to take, right? Or it's an exciting new set of products they want to build, right? And they would allocate, like they'll decide and determine, make projections, how many people would it take to make this and this happen, right? Then go out and hire like a bunch of people, right? Then down the line, if things do not work out as they've planned, right, at the end of the day, who gets impacted by layoffs, right? The people there.
Just the people,
I personally don't like what's been going on in terms of like the trend. And yeah, I'm hoping that we don't see much of.
We don't see
it's like down the line.
Literally, because so far this year, more than 22,000 workers have been the victim of reductions across the tech industry, with a staggering 16,000 and about 84 cuts taking place in February of this year alone. That is scary. Even Google laid off like more than 100 employees from design roles within their cloud unit, and other companies like Just Eat, Fiverr, Salesforce, Cisco, Atlassian, and even Amazon's device and services division, they also have done like a couple of layoffs this year. And that's just like, there is no company that you can actually say confidently, oh yeah, maybe, just maybe, there might be some companies there, those that are like stable. But I feel like with the direction tech is in right now, there's so much changing. I really am curious to know the number of people, the number of employees that are like scared of losing their job like right now. And the job market is so terrible. Yeah, it would definitely be like a problem to get laid off and having to like go back to the job, start interviewing and searching and all of that.
Definitely.
Hopefully it becomes stable and we don't see any more happening for the end of the year, because people need to spend Christmas in a happy mode. Imagine job hunting when you're supposed to be celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about the US, US and China have been at loggerheads for a couple of, it's been a couple of months now. And the Trump administration is really curbing exports to China. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, ever since like this new administration came in, it's been quite clear that they would take their approach to trade will be different from the immediate past administration, like Joe Biden's approach. We were pretty certain that tariffs would be a huge factor.
Yeah.
And then also export controls, like in terms of like what's kind of like led up to this point, right? There's just been like a number of back and forth like over the year between like the USA and China. Obviously, the USA had Liberation Day some months back, whereby they pretty much announced like a bunch of tariffs, priority tariffs for like many countries. China retaliated. They got up into like a trade war between themselves for quite a bit. Markets reacted quite negatively at a point. Then things kind of like wound down and markets kind of recovered from that. But then now we're kind of like getting to this point again where the two superpowers are kind of like at loggerheads again. China also, I believe they enacted some export controls.
Yeah, they also do.
Earths, right? Yeah, and rare earths is kind of like very essential for like a lot of technology.
Yeah, electronics.
Like that, right? Semiconductors and whatnot, right? And electronics, right? So it's like those are really important. And that would obviously, like the export controls that China enacted obviously have impacted the USA significantly, right? So I feel like in a way this is kind of like a response to that as well. What are your thoughts still?
Yeah, definitely going to be significant. I mean, on the US especially, because I feel like to a large extent, China will be fine. China will be fine, really. But I mean, President Trump himself said like he's going to impose additional tariffs of at least 100% on all China's US-bound shipment. That feels like a big deal, in my opinion, because the way it's going to like translate to the import market and the export markets in China as well, it's going to be significant for them. Maybe, just maybe, both countries really need to like slow down and reweigh the effects that this is going to have long term, especially on the economy. Because like you said, when this all back and forth started, it was really affecting the US economy, and we could see the way like stock performance was down for a while. Now that it's getting back up, I would think one of the things to be very careful about is ensuring like the tariff is fair for both countries, and it's not just focused on the US alone. Like, yeah, the US can make more revenue or maybe not, but it's more or less like finding the middle ground. That's what I think. Like, finding the middle ground is fine. US is happy, China is happy as well. But where that middle ground will be, I'm not sure both powers, like you said, are going to want to cave in or seem like the weaker one.
Yeah. Really be interesting to see just how this ends up playing out, right? I am particularly interested in seeing how these decisions impact the markets.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be keeping our viewers and listeners up to date as this news progresses.
Yep. And for some news more local, down to the African level, Nigeria has received a massive settlement of $32.8 million for data protection settlement with Meta. You know, when people talk about how you can get fined for this GDPR thing, I'm always like, yeah, I mean, you can get fined, but it's maybe not going to be like that massive. But this is massive.
Yeah, it's definitely significant, right? Yeah, I think this is kind of like the largest sort of settlement of this kind we've seen come out of Africa in memory, at least. So yeah, it began in February 2025, if I recollect properly.
Yeah, that was when it started, really. So the Nigerian Data Protection Commission accused Meta of violating the Nigerian Data Protection Act through behavioral advertising on Facebook and Instagram. See, I told you, I literally said this in the last episode. If you haven't listened to the last episode, please go and listen. But I told you, like sometimes I search for random things on Google and then I open up my Instagram ad. I'm seeing an ad that is targeted directly based on what I searched. Like, why? I didn't give permission for this thing. But seeing this, like, Nigerian Data Protection Commission actually took a step forward to, like, accuse them. They violated the rule. Now you have to pay up. But essentially, the same Meta transferred users' data abroad without approval and failed to obtain explicit consent. These are the type of things that I like. I love the law right now. Because when it comes to the users, really, yeah, we deserve to have an understanding of how this thing is going to be used. But yeah, settlement talks are expected on October 31. This payout is like massive, but it's also like a good reflection on Nigeria, because who knew Nigeria had it in it?
Yeah, definitely great to see the NDPC protecting the Nigerian consumer.
Yep.
So yeah, more of this, right? Really excited to see how this plays out, and really excited to see a future where our governments and government agencies protect the Nigerian consumer more.
Not just the Nigerian consumer, if I'm being honest, just globally, really.
Yeah,
I have to like give high props to Europe, because when it comes to GDPR, that is something that they fight for constantly. As a user, you have the right to know how your data is being used. You have the right to say you don't want your data to be used again, or you want your data to be deleted. And the companies should be able to respect that and enforce it, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're outside. That's something that every company should be sure to keep within their product offering and their legal team.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on to the parts that I like.
Yeah, Dami's favorite.
Yeah.
I know that you've been waiting for this moment, Dami, right?
We say you are the product junkie, but I think like I'm the one that spends the most time on social media and online. I'm probably the one. Yeah, I sleep and wake up on the internet, if I'm being very honest. But yeah, the product I am super excited about for this episode is the Samsung Galaxy XR. And the reason I'm super excited about this is Vision Pro finally has a rival.
Hey.
Back in August, I went to an Apple store here in London, and I had like a demo experience of the Vision Pro, which was like brilliant. I loved it so much, like being able to like put on the glasses and just like experience what the headset feel was like, seeing things visually. I could watch videos and all of that just like in my head. But it was fun until they told me the price. And I was just like, oh, wow, okay. How are you people buying this thing?
Yeah. The Vision Pro is about $3,500.
Yeah. I was just like, no way. So, seeing the demo and first impression of the Galaxy XR, really, it's about $1,800. And I mean, it's still a headset that has about 27 megapixel display. It runs on Android, like right now, but there's a possibility that it's going to cover like a whole lot of apps, really. And this was like announced at the Galaxy event dedicated to the wearable headset. So if you're excited like me, or you've been thinking about getting like the Vision Pro, but you just don't want to like put in money in that regard, the XR is like an alternative that you can actually look into. Like I have seen the video, looks really cool, looks nice. The features solid. But unfortunately, it's only launching in the US and Korea to start with. So it's not in the UK, it's not in Europe yet. Maybe, just maybe, they haven't like disclosed yet if it's going to launch in the UK. But the US and Korea just for this moment.
Did Samsung mention anything about the weight of the device? Because I remember when the Apple
event
Pro came out, first of all, like the weight of the Vision Pro was a huge factor, or a huge talking point that reviewers mentioned was not great, particularly like how uncomfortable it was on the head after when you use it for a long period of time. And yeah, it was very top heavy, right, according to reviewers. So I'm curious about how the Samsung headsets feel.
If I'm being honest, I had the Vision Pro on for about 30 minutes when I did the demo, and it didn't feel so heavy.
All right.
Yeah, so if they can maintain that weight or even make it lighter than the Vision Pro, the XR might just be like a winner in that regard. But it has like 4K cameras and screens inside, and about 10 cameras for tracking. So yeah, looks solid. I mean, Samsung never does things halfway. I'm sure they might have weighed the pros and cons and really try to think of the ways they can do better than Apple.
Yeah. Speaking of VR headsets and the Vision Pro, did you hear about the new version of Vision Pro that was announced recently?
Yeah. I have heard of it. I haven't seen it. I need to go back.
It looks pretty similar to the old Vision Pro. The main differences are it has a new chip.
Oh.
And then besides that, they did some modifications to the headband to help distribute the weight on the head a bit more. So yeah, it's supposedly more comfortable than the previous version when you use it for an extended period of time.
It is not really a major improvement, but I don't know. I don't own one, so I can't say. If you have a Vision Pro and
that may spend.
Yeah, I'm not going to use this like every day for something that was like a daily driver. Yes, I would, but I already look at my laptop and external monitor on a daily basis. If you want me to make the switch to Vision Pro, that's just going to be like an overkill. So if you have like a Vision Pro or you've tried it out before, please let us know if it feels like top heavy, or what the experience is like in general, if this is something that you like. And something else that might interest you, Yano, is the fact that Samsung also announced that they might be releasing smart glasses soon.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like they're going band for band with Apple at this point. It's like Apple does something and they're like, oh, okay, fine. We're just going to like steal the notes. And then Samsung does something. Apple is like, let's just copy real quick, but let's not make it very obvious that we are copying you. So yeah, they're going to like release their own Android XR-based smart glasses. I am looking forward to that. Hopefully stylish, like more stylish than the Ray-Ban one, but you never know. Fingers crossed until I see it. But yeah, that is the products that I am super excited about. The XR, if you see it in person, let me know what your thoughts are. It looks really cool. Over to you.
So my own favorite product for this week is ChatGPT Atlas, pretty much. And I have used it a little bit.
Okay, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Basically, as you're browsing, you could, the most, for me, the parts of it that I enjoy the most is like the agent mode, right? And pretty much you have like a prompt. You have like an input field where you can like input a prompt, instructing the agent to pretty much carry out some actions like on your behalf. Like for example, if you want to make a booking, right, or you want to search for like a flight, you travel a lot if you want to search for a flight. And this is a use case I did try out myself, right? Just typed in the agent, like I want to fly to XXX place, search for the best flights from X to Y at basically at so dates.
The dates and
pretty much it's just after inputting like my prompt.
Did it bring out the direct flights?
Yeah, it brought out flights, right?
And the prices too.
Yeah, it opened like Google Flights, a search for flight, entered like the location and the start location destination, entered like the exact day I want to fly.
Okay.
Search for it, right? Flights came up. And then it's sorted by cheapest as well. And then, after that, it scanned through it and gave me a recommendation. Right?
Okay, you know what? I feel sold partially. I'm like 80% convinced. I'm going to try this and see. What else did you use it for?
It was cool, right? But it was noticeably slower in it than if I were to do the exact same thing myself.
Using ChatGPT?
No, I mean like
typing it, into the browser.
Yeah, actually searching Google Flights or Booking.com, doing myself, right? It was a bit slower. There were times that the agent stalled a little bit, right? As he tried to like figure out what to do next, right? But yeah, all in all, it was pretty cool.
Could you run it like a service in the background, or did you have to like keep the browsing page open while it was doing the search?
Well, I was focused on the browser at the time, right? I'm pretty sure if I wanted to leave it like running in the background, that should be possible. You just swipe to a separate application. I don't see why it wouldn't be working in the background. So yeah, I think it should.
Yeah, because that would be like a really good use case. If you don't want to do it like as of that moment, you can just like do the search and keep the results later for you to like come take a look at. Yeah,
and then also as you were prompting the agents, you could also OpenAI gave an option as you interact with agents whether you'd want to interact in the logged in mode or the logged out mode. Basically, if you give it permission to interact in the logged in mode, it can actually like use the different services logged in on your behalf and then actually like make those actions like as if you were logged in, right?
And then
But then if you use it in log out mode, right, it wouldn't be logged into any of the, it won't be logged into like the applications as it's interacting with it, right? So then I guess that's like an extra, can I say, way of giving you like personal comfort if you don't want it making like sensitive actions on your behalf.
nice. That is super cool.
Yeah, definitely play around with it. I think you would like it.
I mean, I'm a big fan of ChatGPT as it is. I'm just not sure if I want to have it in my browser yet or use it in the browser experience. But yeah, definitely. I feel convinced with what you just said.
Yeah. And then also you can import things like your bookmarks and stuff from Google Chrome.
Whoa.
Right. So like when you're doing the onboarding, you can just import your stuff in. Like so that makes the process like a bit more seamless.
Yeah, sort of like what you're already used to. I quite like that because you can use for like personalization. Really, you don't have to like start all over again. With what about your history? Can you also import the history, or it's just like bookmarks?
Yeah, I think if I remember well, yeah, your history, you can import your history.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, love it. There you have it. The honest peak of the products that is loving lately. So if you try out the new ChatGPT agent, OpenAI agent, be sure to let us know your thoughts are about it, if you like it or what you think could be improved about the agent. And with that, we've come to the end of episode 2 of Tech Tato. Thank you for listening, for watching. If you are watching this live on YouTube, we'll have more tech news and product updates and tea for you in the next episode. In the meantime, you can follow us
at TechTactoPod. And also, if you'd like to say hi, you can reach us at hello@techtacto.live. And also, Dami, you mentioned YouTube. You gave a shout out to YouTube viewers specifically, but also shout out to those listening on audio as well, Spotify and Apple Music. Shout out to you guys. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.